Hey everyone. All right, so what I'm deciding to do for this is actually giving you a visual as to what I was talking about in presentation number 3 in regards to doing your research for your topic. You know, I talk about going to the school's website, I talk about clicking on certain things, I talk about this Microsoft Word document that I have up that helps me along with things. So I just wanted to show you exactly what I do. So here I am on our school's website, Lower Cape May Regional School District, www.lcmrschooldistrict.com. And this is what I do. So I told you before, we're on our school's website. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to high school. That's here on the left-hand side. And then I'm going to go to Media Center, which was right underneath. And then as soon as this loads, you'll be able to see the Media Center's web page fully. Should be soon. Technical difficulty. There we go. Okay. So you want to use online catalog, meaning you want to try to find books that are in the Media Center. If you look at my mouse right here, I would click on online catalog. That's if you actually wanted to look at books that the Media Center has. And if you see a book that you're interested in, maybe online that perhaps we don't carry, you can talk to Mrs. Carpinelli about ordering it. Couple of other things you do, like I told you before, is scrolling down a little bit and seeing all of these fun links. I talked to you about Gale opposing viewpoints. I talked to you about GVRL, that's right there. eBooks, things of that nature. And there's a couple of other helpful things down here if you wanted to see some stuff, but you can peruse that on your own time. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is I have my topic. My topic will go with the whole animal abuse thing. And my thesis statement was stated in presentation number 1 that those who commit animal abuse should be heavily fined and or jailed, yada yada. So I'm going to go to Gale opposing viewpoints in context. Now, like I told you before, we're going to put in the password, and that is on the 3rd presentation. All right, and this is what Gale opposing viewpoints looks like. And what's really cool about Gale opposing viewpoints is that they have all of these subdivisions if you wanted to check them out. Which, hey, if you're even stuck on your topic, you could totally check these out. They got stuff on society, science, law, war, health, the environment, like global warming, stuff like that. They've got a lot of cool things here. So I encourage you to check this out. But in the interim, we'll stick with the whole topic that I chose earlier, animal abuse. So in Gale opposing viewpoints in context, this thing right here, the little search, I'm going to type in animal abuse. Okay. And all of these really cool things come up, which is really kind of neat. But let's just click on that first one and see what comes up. All right, now here we're seeing a couple of things. Now, you might be asking, what exactly am I going to find in opposing viewpoints? In opposing viewpoints, you're going to find things like works that people have created which are criticisms of your topic, which are highly regarded. These are in journals. These are in other things. Oh, you don't need to see my email, but yay, Mrs. Randall for winning. You're going to see like criticisms, statistics, so studies that were done, references, magazines, audio, news, some videos, some websites. But it's really, really neat. So, all right. something along the lines of what I have. Standard farming practices constitute legalized animal abuse. Well, I don't want to legalize animal abuse. Let's not do that. Rodeos are sanctioned animal abuse and should be stopped. That could be one. Abuse of animals can signal violence in families. You know what? I kind of like that one. I could probably talk about in my paper that by locking up offenders of animals, it will also more than likely help with family relations. So I'm going to click on abuse of animals can signal violence in families. Now, here's my little article. All right. I have my author and all of those other things, and it's not really that long. A lot of these are not super long. But I really like this. I think this is going to be a good thing, and I'm not going to scroll down all the way. I've got a little surprise to show you, which I think you might enjoy. So let's say I read this, and I like this, so I'm going to look through it. And let's say that I really like this one section. Recently, evidence has indicated that animals can play a similar role with interpersonal violence. Psychology, sociology, and criminology studies conducted in the last quarter century have shown that many violent offenders repeatedly commit acts of serious animal cruelty during childhood and adolescence. That sounds wonderful. So what am I going to do? I'm going to copy this. It doesn't mean I'm going to use this exactly like I will in my paper. I'll get to another video like that soon, but this is just to show you how Opposing Viewpoints works and how I do this little thing that I do with this Microsoft Word document. So I'm going to bring up that Microsoft Word document, and I'm going to paste this little factoid that I have, all right? So that is up and that is pasted. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back up Gale Opposing Viewpoints, and I'm going to write my title, which is Abuse of Animals Can Signal Violence in Families. Let me spell. And I'll put Gale Opposing Viewpoints. Now here's the cool thing about Gale Opposing Viewpoints. I'll show you this now, and then I will show you this again. So bringing up this website, when you're on Gale Opposing Viewpoints, and actually a lot of the things in the library that come from the library's website, they already come with a citation tool. And what does that mean? Well, that means you click on it, and what's that? My citation's already there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, okay? And I'll exit out. I'll bring up this paper again. And right underneath my title, I'm going to put this citation. All right? Now, you and I both know that that's not exactly how the citation's going to look like. It'll be kind of close. But isn't it nice that you no longer have to worry about that? Now, if I got another article, I'd write that underneath here, and then, you know, blah, 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 I'd have all that stuff underneath there. But that's how to really use Gale Opposing Viewpoints. That's how to do the little tip I told you with the blank Word document and copying what you would like and seeing how you can make it work best for you, and also how you can already get that pesky little MLA citation that's going to go on your Works Cited page out of the way. All right, I hope you enjoyed.